Hey everyone, welcome to another video. In this video I'm going to be testing out the new Kiko Precious Rituals limited edition. I got some things to try out and I'm just going to show them to you, show some close-ups, show some swatches and also apply them to my face. And once again, this is a very pretty, a very exciting collection by Kiko and I can't wait to show it to you. So I'm pretty excited about this new collection and let's get right into it. So if you haven't been on my channel before, my name is Marley and I love making YouTube videos about makeup and beauty. I love trying out new things, I love trying out new makeup, and I usually review the new Kiko collections. I'm always very curious to see what they are coming out with in their limited editions, if it's good or not. And so you can usually find the info on the new collections from Kiko on my channel. So if that sounds good to you, then don't forget to subscribe. I usually upload about 2 to 3 videos a week and I would love to see you again on my channel. So I'm just gonna show you these products quickly, show some swatches as well, and then we're gonna go into the application. So the first thing that I got here is the Kiko Milano Precious Rituals Vegan Matte Lip Stylo. By the way, the packaging of this collection once again is absolutely gorgeous. It's a beautiful color, beautiful pattern, and they just really know how to create a certain vibe with their collections, with their packaging. I really love it. And this lip stylo isn't even the best packaging yet, but I love how this looks. I got a little bit of a cool toned nude shade. It looks like this. It's a pretty slim packaging. It has this beautiful kind of maroon shade to it. I really like how this looks. I also think this gold detail looks really nice. So the next thing that I got here, I'm just going in random order, is the Precious Rituals Long Lasting Vegan Blush. And this is what the outer packaging looks like. Once again, a very gorgeous, a very beautiful. But with these cheek products, with this packaging of the cheek products, this time they did something really special, really interesting. I really think this is so cool. So the packaging itself, it's kind of like wooden. It kind of looks like it's wood and I also think that it actually is. And then we have the gold on the front and it's also in this really beautiful maroon shade. So it's kind of interesting how you open this blush. You can kind of like turn off the lid. Let me see if I can do it. Yes. And then you have the mirror here and you have the blush duo over here. So we have a matte blush, kind of like a matte blush, and then also kind of like a shiny part as well. So it's a duo with a shiny and a matte blush, but it kind of looks like a deep highlighter with this shade. I'm curious to see how this will work on my skin tone. There are lighter shades. This is a deeper shade, but I loved how this matte blush looked the most. So if you want a shiny part that is a little bit more light, they also have that. There's a more pinky one and then one that's a bit of a cool toned brown with a really light shiny part to it. But this packaging, I know I said that the Charming Escape collection was like the best packaging ever, but this I also really love. They really know how to do packaging and this collection isn't even that expensive. I think that the lip is like 10 euros and this duo is like 15 euros, so pretty good. Next up we have the Precious Rituals Vegan Eyeshadow Harmony Palette. This is in the shade Spiritual Pink. You might know that sometimes I love Kiko eyeshadows and sometimes I kind of hate them. So I'm really hoping that this is gonna be good. I've never really tried an eyeshadow palette from Kiko in this format. So I have a similar packaging to the blush duo, but this is more of a warm kind of terracotta shade almost. It opens in the same way. Once again we have a mirror here and then this is what the actual eyeshadow palette looks like. It has some mauve tones and a bit of a cool tone taupey shade, and then there's one light pinky taupey shimmer in here as well. I swatched it real quickly and I thought it looked pretty good, so I'm hopeful. I'm hoping that this is gonna be good. The next thing that I got is the Precious Rituals Long Lasting Vegan Face Highlighter. Everything in this collection is vegan and this is once again the wooden packaging with the maroon shade. Once again, it has a mirror and then this is the shade. This is the lightest highlighter in the collection. There's also one that was a bit deeper. Also a very beautiful shade, but I could tell that it was gonna be too deep on me. So if you have a deeper skin tone than I do, then there's also another shade that you can reach for. It looks like a little bit of a more basic champagne-y shade. A little bit of a neutral highlighter, which can also be nice. And I think the embossing in this one looks really, really pretty. I love how they just think of all the details with these collections nowadays. Their collections used to be really cute, but sometimes they kind of forgot about parts of the packaging, and sometimes they made the outer box really beautiful and then what was inside, just a component of the lipstick for example, was really boring. So I like this more. I have one more thing that I'm going to be trying in this video, and that is the Precious Rituals Long Lasting Vegan Bronzer. All the cheek products are in this maroon type packaging. I really, really love the color. They all have a mirror, and then inside the bronzer looks like this. This is the deepest shade. I do wish that Kiko would come out with more inclusive ranges when it comes to their bronzers. They could easily do one shade darker at least, because this works for me, and I'm not that tan. I'm like I guess a light right now, and then they have one shade lighter that's like for really fair people right now. I think they should step it up and really, really make their limited editions a bit more inclusive. So those are all the products that I got. I'm really excited to try them out. Let's get into the application. Alright, let's start with the eyeshadow palette. By the way, it's starting to rain. It's getting pretty dark. I hope you can't hear the rain. I hope the rain is not going to be too loud and distracting. I'm gonna start with the... Okay, there's one clear downside to having all these products in the same packaging. I don't know which of these is the eyeshadow palette. Let me find it. Oh wait, of course, the eyeshadow palette is in the other shade. So it's 4 shades. It's gonna be a simple look. We don't have a lot of options here, but that's okay. I'm just gonna apply this pinky shade first in my crease, and I'm just gonna zoom you in a little bit so you can see better what I'm doing. Gonna take a crease brush and take that pinky shade. I already primed my eyelids. Okay, it's a bit powdery. There's a bell going off, I don't know why. Okay, so this pinky shade, it blends really easily, really fast. I do like the amount of pigmentation that it has. It's not like crazy, but it's enough. Doing the same on the other eye and blending that out, trying to build it up a little bit. I think that's a pretty cute shade. It's not gonna be the most impactful crazy look with a 4 pan like this, but I'm hopeful that it's gonna be a pretty cute look. Now I'm just gonna take the same brush and I'm gonna go into deeper shade, and I'm gonna see how deep this eye look can actually go, if I can kind of deepen it up. Yeah, this is still pretty soft. It's nothing crazy. It's nothing really deep or with a lot of contrast with this eyeshadow palette. There's also one other eyeshadow palette with more neutral browns, but I thought this color story was the cutest. That bell is pretty loud. I don't know if it's gonna stop. It's been going on for a little bit. But that's what you get when you live in the middle of the city. Random sounds all around, all day. Doesn't matter what time of the day. I'm just gonna take a clean brush and kind of blend out the edges. Diffuse everything a bit. Okay, so this is definitely a palette for a softer look. I'm just gonna take the shimmer, this kind of taupey one, and I'm gonna put that on the lid with my finger. Let's see if this is a nice shimmer or not. It's quite subtle. At least in this lighting it doesn't look very spectacular. Yeah, I don't know if this is really a palette I would recommend. I think you can get better quality eyeshadow from Kiko even, but also from other affordable brands. But of course the packaging is really cute. It's a cute collection, but then I would say go for something else. Maybe go for some of the other products in this collection that have a similar packaging. At least at this point, I feel that this palette is just okay. It's just okay. Nothing to run to the shops for, nothing to go crazy over. I'm just taking the same shades as I put in the crease and just applying a little bit on the lower lash line. Yeah, I don't know. I don't feel like I can really deepen this up anymore. Should I try and do something with that taupe shade? I don't really feel like it's gonna add a lot to this look. I'm just gonna put a little bit in this inner part just to see if it shows up, if it adds anything. It's just a bit of a light shade. Just a light beigey tone. Okay, so this is gonna be the eye look. I don't think I can do any... I don't feel like I can do much to spice this up. I don't feel like there's much I can still do. I don't know, maybe I can take a smaller brush and take some of the deeper shade. I guess it kind of helps, but it's not really changing my mind. I think I might be able to save this look with a little bit of liner, but yeah, just these eyeshadows, they don't really do it for me. Okay, I'm just gonna clean up under my eyes a little bit, put on some mascara, and then we can move on to the rest of the products. So this is the eye look with a bit of mascara, a little bit of a smudged liner. I use the Nabla Cupid's Arrow number 7. And I feel like that made it look a bit better, but it couldn't really save it. I'm not a fan of this look. I don't love it. Now let's move on to the cheeks. I'm gonna use the bronzer first, of course. The vegan bronzer in Sienna. And let's just bronze this face up a little bit. I'm just gonna take my brush. And let's see. Oh, it's pretty pigmented. It has a bit of a natural sheen. It blends easily. It looks very nice and skin-like. Not really matte. It looks kind of creamy. And this is a type of bronzer that I personally really love. I love that skin-like kind of creamy effect. And yeah, it's pretty pigmented. I don't really have to work for it. Don't really have to build it up. That was pretty easy peasy. It's like a neutral shade. Not extremely warm. Not extremely cool for sure. It has some warmth to it, but it is quite neutral and easy to wear, I think. This bronzer I really like. This is a good bronzer. I really like this type of finish on the cheeks. This is one where I feel like this could even become a favorite. Because this is definitely what I look for in a bronzer. So if you want kind of a skin-like bronzer, a little bit of a natural sheen without it looking glittery or really glowy, then I think this is a nice one. You can see it on my cheeks. When I turn my head, you can see a bit of that glow. Now I just want to grab this highlighter, the Golden Meditation highlighter, and apply it to one cheek first. Because I kind of want to see what the glowy cheek products look like before kind of mixing them together. So I'm going to take a little bit on my highlighter brush and applying that to the highest point of my cheek. I think this is a really pretty one. Do you see that glow? It's really, really gorgeous. I love Kiko highlighters. They are some of my favorite highlighters, and I really love how this makes my cheek look. It's really like a neutral, natural highlight, but really pretty. So this doesn't have any highlight, just the bronzer, and this has the highlight. I think that's really pretty. I'm just gonna take my pencil brush and I'm gonna put a little bit of that in the inner corner, because I wasn't wearing an inner corner highlight just yet. Not that that can really save this eye look for me, but I just want to try it. Okay, now I want to go into that vegan blush duo, and I'm thinking I want to put on some of the matte side first, and then I'm gonna put some of the glowy side on top as kind of like a blush topper, and I'm gonna do that on this cheek first. So you're gonna need a bit of a small brush to only get one of these shades. Keep that in mind. If you have a big brush, then it's gonna be a little bit more difficult to just grab one. This is the matte blush. I think it looks really pretty. It has a similar effect to the cheek, I think, as that bronzer. Just creamy and skin-like. And it's easy to blend, I feel. That doesn't need a lot of blending. It's like pretty effortless. I really like how this cheek looks without even any of the glowy, like really glowy products. I think it looks really nice. Now I just want to take a little bit of the glowy side. And I'm going to take a little bit of a smaller blush brush. So the glowy side, it looks like a really deep highlighter for deep skin. I don't know how it's going to look on me, but I just want to try it. So just going to apply that a bit to the apples on top of the blush I just put down. I'm hoping it's not going to be too highlighty, but just a nice glowy blush effect. But I like this. I think this looks nice. So that added a nice amount of glow. I really like the finish. I didn't apply a lot, but I think I like it like this. Just as a bit of a blush topper, just adding a little bit of glow. So this is the glowy blush side. This is the highlighter side. The highlighter is definitely more light. And this is more blushy. I think this glowy blush would also work for deeper skin tones as well. Okay, I'm just gonna even it out a little bit. Put a little bit of that matte blush on this side. I think that highlighter and this blush is also a really pretty combo. And then I'm gonna put a little bit of the glowy blush on top here as well. Just kind of dusting it over. I'm not very precise with my application on this side because I just want a soft layer of the topper. I think the other side needs just a little bit more blush. I really like the tone of this blush. I think it's a nice fall shade. It's a bit of a warm shade, but it has some mauviness in it as well. It's kind of like a terracotta mauve almost. And now I'm just gonna take a little bit of that highlighter and putting that on the other cheek as well, so it all matches. I always like to blend everything together after I've applied the highlight. And sometimes when I feel like I've gone a little bit overboard, like it's not completely blended, I take a little bit of a small brush and then I blend the edges, because I don't want to blend this with a brush that already has a lot of pigment on it, because then I will blend it down too far. So then I take a brush that doesn't have any product on it and kind of blend out the edges. So these are the cheeks. You can see that glow, you can see that glowy blush situation. I really like all the cheek products. I think they look very nice. We have one last thing to test, and that's gonna be the lip. But first let me just fix my brows before I forget, and then I'm gonna put on some lip liner and then we're gonna apply the lipstick. So I just applied some lip liner. Let's apply this Precious Rituals a Vegan Matte Lip Stylo in a 02. I'm expecting this to be a little bit of a cool toned nude shade. It has a bit of an interesting scent to it, kind of fresh, maybe a little bit florally. I don't feel like it's extremely matte. I feel like it's kind of satiny. It's really thin feeling on the lips. It's really lightweight. I feel like this isn't gonna be the type of lipstick that's gonna dry your lips out a lot or gonna look really thick or is gonna emphasize lines or texture on your lips, because it's so thin and kind of creamy almost. It's a bit satiny. I think this is a very nice feeling and looking lipstick. Yeah, it's a little bit of a cool toned neutral shade, a lighter nude, but I think it's gonna be very nice for the fall time. I think that's gonna be a very nice shade to wear this time of year. So this is gonna be the finished look. This is the look all done with all the new products from the new Kiko Milano Precious Rituals collection. Let's go over these products real quickly and I will give you my first impressions. So let's first chat about the eyeshadow palette. When I just looked in a different mirror in different lighting, I didn't think the shimmer looked as bad, but that doesn't change the fact that these mattes are a little bit too lightly pigmented for me, a little bit too subtle. If you're looking for subtle mattes that are easy to blend, that you don't really have to worry about or think about, that are just like an easy peasy quick blend in the crease, then this might be something for you. But I like mattes that are a little bit more impactful and buildable. At least I like having something that's a bit buildable, because then you have the choice if you want to go soft or more impactful. So I would say that this palette is just okay. It kind of depends on you if you like a more subtle eye look. In the end, I don't think it looks bad, but I just don't think that this is interesting enough and this is special enough for me to really recommend this. So it's kind of up to you, but I don't think that this is gonna be a favorite of mine. I'm just not really impressed by that one. Next up we have the vegan bronzer, of course. Really loved how this looked on the skin. Very creamy, very skin-like. It has just the right amount of sheen to it, which makes it look very healthy and just glowy on the skin without it looking metallic or glittery or shimmery or extremely shiny. This is a type of bronzer formula and effect that I really love. I think this could be a new favorite bronzer maybe, because I just really loved how this looked on the cheeks. I really love how my cheeks are looking right now. I think this is a really good bronzer formula. And then we have the Copper Infusion Blush Duo. Really like the shades in this, really like the effect of this. I think it's nice that you can kind of choose what you want. Do you want to go more matte and creamy, or do you want to go a little bit more shiny? I think you can easily mix these together as well on your brush and just apply it like that. Then I think it's just going to be a little bit of a mixture, just a little bit of a shiny blush, but not too much. But of course you can use this a little bit more, apply a little bit more on top and use it as a blush stopper. I think this is a really cool product, really interesting, and once again I really think this is a beautiful formula. Then of course I also tried the highlighter. I think this is a beautiful highlighter. I think it looks gorgeous on the skin. It just gives this particular kind of a look, so shiny, kind of wet looking, but really without any shimmer, really smooth. And that's the kind of highlighter that I really like. It just looks really smooth and glowy, but not chunky or metallic or like too much. It just blends into the skin very well. I think this is a gorgeous highlighter, and this is a type of highlighter that I really like from Kiko and that I'm used to from Kiko. The highlighter in the Charming Escape collection was a little bit softer, I think, but this is one you can easily build up. You just need a little bit and you already have a really shiny effect. Then the lipstick, of course, I've only been wearing it for a few minutes, but it feels very hydrating, very lightweight. Sometimes you can immediately feel that a matte lipstick is gonna dry out your lips, that it's gonna be a little bit uncomfortable, but I think this is gonna be one that you can wear for quite a few hours without it feeling uncomfortable or anything like that. Of course, I'll have to update you on that. But I think it's a really pretty color, a really pretty finish. It looks very flattering on the lips. And yeah, I'm just pretty impressed with how this actually feels. Almost like you're wearing nothing. And that is something I can definitely appreciate. And I think that's something that's gonna be nice for winter, especially when my lips are gonna be like super dry. So that is gonna be everything for the new Kiko Milano Precious Rituals collection. I'm pretty impressed with this collection. One thing that wasn't really my style, wasn't really my thing, but the rest of it I really enjoy, and I would definitely recommend, at least so far, trying them once. I think these are great products. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know in the comments if there are any of these products that you're planning to pick up, which ones you liked, which ones you didn't. And don't forget to like this video if you liked it, and don't forget to subscribe. And then I will see you in my next one. Bye bye!